Hello, welcome everybody. Uh, Welcome my friend Trevor back. Uh,
Hello.
Trevor battled the snowstorm to get here to do this live feed, and we're having some technical issues. I wanted to set up another camera on a tank, and I still may try while we're doing this, but it's just not letting me do it very well. It should be, but it's not. But anyways, yeah, it's a snowy ass day here in central Ontario. There's how much snow you got out there since this morning? About 6 inches,
6 inches,
but
yeah.
it's coming.
Easy.
It's coming down hard.
Yeah.
So we thought, what better do than a little live stream here? So we're probably going to talk about breeding fish because that's basically what we do. I'm sure Trevor's got some stuff to talk about. I know you got
Yep.
some new fish in,
Yep.
and you're playing with some new fish. So yeah, we'll get it started. I was going to talk about some pleco breeding. I got some zucchini on a fork here, and I was going to put it in the tank and set the camera up on it. And I'm still going to try that. But right now, I don't know. We'll have a look, see who's in here. Just gonna get this set up here so I can see. We got 4 people apparently, and I need to turn my volume right off. Okay, perfect. Hello, Frank. How are you? 23 Aquatics, if you're still there. Griffin Fish Room, if you're still there. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? So, what kind of fish you want to talk about? What kind of fish you breeding right now?
Right now, the red neon dwarf rainbows. Yeah, they're awesome little fish. Never had them before. Bred a lot of fish, but not these ones. And they lay eggs like killifish, just in a mop. And check them every few days and pick the eggs out and put them in a small dish with some methylene blue, and I got one hatched yesterday.
Okay.
So I got about 20 eggs from them.
Oh, wow.
So look forward to getting a bunch of them. And
any more of those killifish eggs hatch?
I've only got 3 hatched.
You got 3
so far.
So you had 1 hatch on our podcast.
Yep.
And then you had 2 more hatch after that.
Yep.
Should have brought them with you. Maybe a couple more would have hatched out for you.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
I think it's the sloshing that really does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaking them.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Gives a little jolt. Oh, we got some lurkers. We got Fish Room Fever. Hello, how are you? And we will. Toussaint, I can't pronounce that, but Toussaint, fish breeder and keeper. What do you feed the fry? So I'm guessing he's talking about the rainbow fry.
Yep. Right now I'm feeding them vinegar eels, and the vinegar eels seem small enough that I don't have to go to Infusoria. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Infusoria is hard to cultivate this time of year too. You don't get that intense sunshine.
Exactly. Yeah.
To break things down. Yeah. I had a couple of batches going upstairs, right in a window on top of my saltwater tank, actually. So it was nice and warm, and they got a lot of sun there. They
still didn't go.
No, they went from cloudy to a little less cloudy to just cloudy, rotten mess again. I think it didn't work at all. So I'm gonna try it again, but maybe I'll end up getting some vinegar eel babies off of you
for sure.
Because I just pulled the mops. I don't know if you can. The camera can see them. I'll point right there. That tank right there. I just pulled mops out of my 55-gallon New Guinea red rainbow tank.
Cool.
So I already had 2 babies in there from the last time I pulled mops, and
man, are they small?
Yeah,
Holy
they can
cow.
hardly see them. Hardly see them.
Isn't it funny? Those fish are what, 4 inches?
Oh, the littlest ones, yeah.
Yeah, 4 inches anyway, and their eggs are way smaller than a rainbow that I have that only gets about an inch long.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how it seems the bigger the fish, the smaller the eggs.
Yeah, it's weird.
Hey, Bob, how's it going? Speaking of people with big fish and small eggs, that was a Jack Dempsey you bred, was it not, Bob? I do recall, and I remember seeing those eggs in your video. They were tiny, tiny. The fry were tiny, tiny. It was but those were like
big fish.
Those were big fish. We got Storm Riders Aquatics. How are you? But yeah, that's a good question. And I guess if you don't have live food, like mine wasn't ready, so I had to do something. And what I've been doing is just taking pulverized North Fin bug bites.
Yep, smash it up into the smallest powder you can.
Just basically the stuff off the bottom of the jar that's just been pulverized through owning it and it being moved around. And I've been just putting the smallest bit of that in, and I've seen them eating it. So
cool.
And the snails in there clean up whatever they don't. But I'm interested to see what comes out of that tank. I'll have to get another tank set up when I do that. So. Yeah, Jack Dempsey's. Yeah, Bob said. And yeah, they were. If anybody hasn't watched that video, it's Kaler's Aquatics, and he was really successful. And you also kept other fish in there, rainbow cichlids in there, I believe. He kept in with them, and they did a great job raising the fry. There was hundreds. Hello, Stephen Law. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I don't know who I have here for. I got Bob as a moderator. Right on. Perfect. I'm way behind on this stuff. Yeah, he was asking as well. It'll be up here in a second. You ever try? And we I think we already answered that question. This time of year up here, I just don't think we get enough sunlight to make it real successful. I hope that's how I failed anyways, unless I missed something else in it. But it's a pretty simple process. You cut up some lettuce, exactly what I did. You add some boiling water to it to help the lettuce break down. And put it in a window. With some aquarium water and let it do its thing. And I even put a little cap with a vent on it so nothing got in it. Should have worked, but it did not. Well, we got redfish, bluefish. Hello, redfish, bluefish. Good to see you out. But so vinegar eels did the trick.
Absolutely.
Is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So if they're small enough, might as well go with that.
Yep.
And then what are you going to go to Daphnia after vinegar eels or brine shrimp?
No, microworms.
Microworms.
And then actually I could keep them on vinegar eels and then go to brine shrimp, but I think I'm going to step it up with the microworms, seeing I have tons of them.
Okay.
And then do the brine shrimp thing.
Yeah.
Get some size on them. Yeah.
And that usually does it. It also gives them color.
Oh, for sure.
Brine shrimp just gives all fish so much better color.
Yep.
Those are not a pure vegetarian fish.
Right.
That and krill
can
gives them a lot of color too.
Yep.
So you got some rice fish as well, did you not?
No, I got 3 different kinds of killifish.
Yeah. So
I'm enjoying that. I have some Nothobronchius Gwentheri blue, and they're breeding like crazy. Unfortunately, they are the one killie in the family of killifish that once they have eggs, you can't hatch them for like 6 months.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's a very patient.
You just store them, them in water.
Yeah, I got a Tupperware container that I put the peat moss in, then you sink it, and then they lay eggs in the peat moss, and you can tell they've been in there because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I leave it in for about a week and take it out, put it through a net, strain it, like get as much water out as I can, and then put it in a bag, label it, and put it in the cupboard.
Oh, wow.
And that's it. So I've done that twice now. and I'm just going to keep doing that. Unfortunately, these
So they
type of
need
killies don't have a long shelf life themselves. Like they only live for 6 to 8 months,
Oh wow!
and then they're done.
So basically, the idea is the killifish, they breed dry season, everything
Mhm.
dries up,
Yep.
bone dry. Rainy season comes back,
Boom.
and boom, they
Yeah.
hatch.
Yeah.
And
Awesome fish. They have such a cool life cycle. It's a lot of people might say, "Oh, I don't want a fish that only lives 6 months," but a lot of people have guppies and stuff like that, and they don't live a long time either, really.
if they're not cared for, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it depends on how old they are when you got them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we got lots of
Questions.
yeah. One from Frank White here. Are either of you attending the May 1st KOWAC convention in Burlington? The theme is rainbow fish.
Ooh.
I'll
do my best to get there for sure.
Yeah, it's on my list, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go, if not for the whole weekend, at least for a day.
For a day, yeah.
I would really just like to get away for the weekend and go. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe Nick and I'll head down for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I was aware of that, Frank. We were talking about it at our Barry meeting, and yeah.
What is it, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go down on the Sunday.
Yeah, like it's a full shabam. It's everything. Anybody who of Aquaria from all over.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
It's a pretty big convention, pretty big deal.
That'll be
awesome. It's the Canadian Aquarium Convention, right? So KOWAC basically is like the umbrella for all our separate fish groups. So our berry group, which in fact Trevor came out to our berry group last week.
Yep.
And I think he had a good time.
It was awesome.
And, it's good to support our groups. I like to support our groups.
Yeah.
But yeah, KOWAC is the umbrella of all of our aquarium groups in Canada.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big convention. Hello, Alice. Welcome. When I was a kid in Texas, I used to catch these tiny grass shrimp in a pond at the park. Great live food. Problem: the state was putting them in for algae control. Oh, yes. I guess you could have got in trouble for that. But yeah, you can find food anywhere. I guess I would be concerned about putting either, if there's nowadays, anytime, probably worse back in the 70s and 80s with pesticides and whatnot. They
were legal.
Crazy stuff back then. But I'd be worried about pesticides and other things coming into my controlled environment.
Yeah, personally, I would too. Yeah.
It's
nice to go and get some free food, but there's that big if.
Yeah, unless you freeze it first.
Yeah.
It's not live food,
it's not live,
but it's still better than nothing.
If anyone's looking for live Daphnia, I'm culturing it now, and I've got boatloads of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do I have a lot of it. So I'm going to be selling it for $10 per 100. And if anyone wants to get some, let me know. And we're obviously in Aurelia, but I can meet someone somewhere as long as it's not far.
Maybe put your Facebook profile or something in the comments.
Yeah.
People know how to find you on Messenger or something.
Yep. I got it on Facebook also under the Barry meetings page. So yeah.
Okay.
So I throw that in there.
Very good. Very good. And your shrimp are breeding?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Got some little tiny shrimp. Yeah. Yeah, they're cool.
A rainbow egg griffey. I don't know what that means.
What?
You're gonna have to explain more, Stephen Law. How many people we got in here? We got 17 people watching. That's crazy.
Holy cow, that's quick.
Yeah. Right on. I want to get this. I got some things to talk about here. I want to get this camera set up on this other tank. So I'm going to work on that for a second. You guys come up with a question. And why don't you tell people a little bit about how to look after Daphnia? And maybe they won't be so scared to try it. Because honestly, I didn't want to try Daphnia for the longest time.
Yeah.
But now that you showed me how to do it, it's so easy.
Yeah.
So easy. So
Yeah.
maybe explain a little bit about the
Sure.
process of getting Daphnia going once someone started a culture for you.
Yeah. Well, all you need is a live culture, obviously. And I went to Walmart, actually, and got three just Rubbermaid containers. I think they cost me like $8 each or something. And apparently the containers, the plastic containers, hold in a little bit of the heat compared to an aquarium. I haven't used an aquarium. Jesse's using an aquarium, and he's doing fine with it. So the one guy I got my shrimp or my Daphnia from, he said to use the Rubbermaids. Also, once you get it going, just have a little airline going in with just a minimal amount of air. You don't need it like a jacuzzi at all. And get your culture, put your culture in. And I'm feeding my culture a combination of brewer's yeast and spirulina powder. And you just use a little, just enough to basically make the water look foggy, is the best way I could say it. And then the next day, you'll notice the water's clear, which means they've eaten all their food. And then I dose them every day. And when I get off work, the water's crystal clear.
That was green yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I put in way too much. I was doing a video on putting the shelf up and how I've organized my food area of the room, which I have to say is working out freaking awesome right now.
Yep.
But I dosed, and it's almost clear today. It's a little bit foggy still, but it's almost clear, so they eat it up.
Definitely have a light over top. They do need a good amount of light, and Jesse has a ton of water lettuce, so I got some water lettuce off them, and I put the water lettuce in these tubs and leave the light on for 10 hours a day and kill the light at night, and they just multiply. Like it's hard to believe what I'm looking at home. Like the one container, I've had to split it up 2 times, and I could split it up another 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, do you change the water out, or you just...
Not yet. The gentleman I got mine from, he said, never change the water. He said, just always add water from evaporated water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So whenever the water starts to get down an inch or 2, then bring it back up with, fresh tap water that's been dechlorinated, and also the right temperature. You don't want to shock them.
Could you just take water out of one of your tanks?
Yeah.
Put it in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe give them an extra bit of stuff to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Alice, we are not sponsored by anybody. But if they want to give us some money, that'd be great. But no, not sponsored. Just terrible camera work, terrible lighting, and just 2 dudes trying to do their best at a young man's sport. Our rainbow fish aggressive. Your rainbow fish and my rainbow fish would be 2 totally different fish.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Some rainbow fish are only yay big, right?
Yep.
Where my big males, they're New Guinea red rainbows, and they're 5 inches. My big males.
Yep.
So, like, they will attack Daniels. They will go after little fish. Just anything that'll fit in their mouth, they'll eat. As for aggressive, it's that they're not aggressive. If it's small enough to look like food, mine try to eat it, but they don't go around looking for trouble. No. The tiger barbs and Odessa barbs in there look for a lot more trouble than they do. Yeah. But I wouldn't consider them aggressive. Just keep them with size appropriate fish.
Yeah. And my little ones that I have that are only like an inch long, they're very peaceful for a nice planted tank if you wanted, and just keep them with other peaceful fish, and you're fine.
I watched your fish room tour. The video said I may turn completely to shrimp one day. If so, why is that? Well,
they're awesome.
Yeah. As for space required to keep them, per how much enjoyment I get out of each tank, and how much I can play around with them, I guess, come up with my own stuff, work with them, and I find them very easy to keep now that I have a regiment. Now that I keep my water parameters pretty much all the same. I don't ever mess with it. I keep it all the same. I keep them in at least 20-gallon tanks. Keeps everything stable and good. If I miss feeding them for 2 days, oh well, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like I find them way easier to maintain.
No heater
than fish. Yeah, no, I don't even put heat on my shrimp.
Yep.
So yeah, I find them easy to maintain, and I really enjoy them. I think I'll always have fish, no matter what I say. I think I just say stupid things sometimes. But I think I'll always have fish. But I want to ramp up more shrimp. Anything. I am moving at some point this year, more than likely. So I'm not ramping anything up right now. I'm waiting till I move. But when I move, when I organize it, it's going to be organized, shrimp orientated.
Right on.
But yeah, it's a very good observation. Just cool to see that somebody actually watches my videos. Bob Kaler, he hasn't had any aggression in his rainbow fish either. Yeah, Bob's got a lot of rainbows. He can speak very intelligently on the subject. And so if he says no aggression, I doubt there's any aggression. Here's a good question. Oh, look, you have this one, Trevor.
Sure.
What would be an ideal tank size, starting numbers, water parameters, and water change schedules be? That's a lot of questions. So a tank size, like a starting
for shrimp.
I'm guessing. Let's go with that.
Okay. Tank size. I think a 15 gallon that I'm using. You're using 21 gallons.
Yeah, I started with 5 gallons. So
okay. Yeah. And
yeah.
I've got a 5 gallon right now going. I'm just cycling two 15 gallons. I'm using the that 80A Amazonia. So my ammonia's through the roof right now, but that'll go away soon. But
so a tank size, starting numbers. So I guess that all depends on your tank size. So if you're a 20-gallon tank starting with shrimp, after you've cycled your tank and after you've cycled your active substrate that you're going to use, I can't stress that enough. I consider myself a fairly patient fish keeper. Like I've had these rainbows for 2 years, and this is the first time I've ever even tried to spawn them. Like I'm patient. I don't need to do it right now ever, and I think that's that helps me a lot. And it helps when you're trying to cycle a tank with Amazonia. When you're trying to cycle a tank with Amazonia, starting with a sponge filter, it's a 6 to 8 week process. Bottom line, until you're safe and your tests are coming back of what you want to see. And what you want to see is 0 ammonia on your ammonia test. You're 6 to 8 weeks. Bottom line, put some duckweed in there, maybe put some water lettuce, some plants to kind of help things out a bit. But it's patience. It's a long process. And water change schedule. See if we have the same or not.
I don't know. I do a small water change every week. Maybe 20% so far. But I'm not feeding too heavy, and I don't have a ton of shrimp in the 5 gallon tank that I have. But once I go to the 15, then I'll put definitely more shrimp and I'd just be on a weekly schedule. How are you doing it?
I'm 20. I do a 5. They're 20 gallon tanks. I do a 5 gallon bucket a week, and that's so that's 25%.
Weekly schedule
approximately. And mine's RO water, remineralize it, And I also have my fertilizers for my plants in
Yeah.
it as well. And I usually use Flourish. A lot of people have been using that Easy Green, the Aquarium Co-op Easy Green.
Yeah.
I want to get my hands on a bottle. It's too many people are saying too many good things about it
No, that's never a
for
bad
it
thing.
to not be true.
Yeah.
So at least worth a try.
Yeah,
But I
for
think
sure.
we struggle to get it in Canada.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's
Yeah.
the issue. But
Big spread.
people are getting it. So if someone wants to drop a comment on how to get Easy Green, let me know because I'd
Yeah.
like to get a bottle.
Yeah.
So I guess for numbers, if you're going with a 5-gallon tank, I'd say you're good with a half a dozen shrimp to start.
Mhm.
And if they're healthy and you're doing things right and whatnot, you'll have 50 shrimp in no time.
Oh yeah.
One spawn,
Yeah.
you could have 50 shrimp. If you're starting with a 20-gallon tank, you could probably start with 20 shrimp if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
But still, again, if you only started with 6 and you're doing things right, you're probably going to have 50 in no time.
Yeah.
So I guess there is really no rules for that.
Also, there is a difference between the Neocaridina and the Caridina, and we're talking mainly the Caridina right now with the ADA, which gives off the Amazonia, which gives off all the ammonia. That's best for the Caridina.
Yeah. Using old Amazonia ADA
That's
after
already
it's wore out.
Yep.
That's
perfect.
That's good for Neocaridina, but they
Yep.
do like harder water. And I guess we missed the whole part about the water parameters. For Caridina shrimp, I like my TDS between say 90 and 120,
Yep.
and no KH in the water, and that's why I use the Amazonia ADA. It actually pulls the KH out of the water, converts it into something. I'm not that scientific,
No.
but I know there's no KH in my water when I
Nope.
use it. And the remineralizer that I use has no KH in it. And I want a GH of about 2 to 4. Very low GH as well.
Yep.
For
Right.
Neocaridina,
A lot harder.
yeah, pH is 7.
Yeah, they're you could probably have 200 TDS.
Yeah.
Anyways, 200 to 300 probably. And
they like some KH. You need KH
Yeah.
to get that much anyways. So. Yeah, and they like KH. So yeah, depends what kind of shrimp you're going on. You can look back through some of my other videos. I do have many on shrimp keeping through my channel. Paul Kaler's telling us how many watching and likes. That's good. Glad to see somebody's. And yes, if we can get some more likes, that's good. Honestly, Trevor, don't you know what the likes do on this or anything. I just kind of mess around with it and talk.
No, that's all right.
Oh, he was talking. We really got to read down further. He's talking about for Daphnia, but we just gave a shrimp lesson.
Oh,
water
okay.
parameters and everything.
Oh boy. Yeah, water parameters. I'm just using. Let's see. Gosh. Yeah, the water's definitely hard. They have an exoskeleton, so they need the hardness in the water. So 2 to 300 for sure. TDS. pH is just around 7.2, and that's pretty much about it. Room temperature.
I don't think they're that picky, are they? Pretty much.
Apparently
any
not.
Water, yeah.
Apparently not.
You're basically throwing sludge in to feed them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also, one thing I forgot to mention before was the sides are going to get covered in algae and everything, and apparently just leave that alone. Let it build up, do its thing, because it's just going to be better for the Daphnia. So
that goes the same for shrimp too.
Yeah.
I keep my viewing panel nice and clean so I can enjoy the shrimp.
Yep.
I do not touch any of the other sides on the
Yep.
tank. I let it grow.
Yep.
Fish Tropics in the house. Welcome. Thanks for watching us. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the chat here. I got to get caught up. Oh, it looks like I'm damn near caught up. So yes, I do use, I think you probably heard me already explain this, but yeah, I do use RO water, and I use a GH remineralizer in the water to get it to where I want it. Do you need a heater in the fish tank with pleco? So depends what kind of pleco.
Yeah.
There is no hard answer for that. I'm going to say yes and no.
Yeah.
I have some blue phantoms that I keep at 80 degrees. They need a heater. I have an L106 in there as well. It needs to stay warm.
What do you keep your bushy nose at?
Bushy nose, they don't care.
Room temperature.
They don't care.
Right on.
They now I do have a heater in my 90-gallon grow tank. You guys can just see that over in the corner over there. I guess back there is where we're supposed to be pointing to. But that tank stays at about 74. And I only warm it up a little bit just to help them grow a little faster. So fish are cold-blooded, right? Like the water controls a fish's
metabolism.
Yeah, metabolism, everything. So if you have colder water, they're going to grow a bit slower. They're going to probably eat a little bit less, and they're going to live longer.
Absolutely.
But some fish require a minimum temperature as well.
Yep.
Like if you put blue phantoms in 70-degree water for their entire life, they're probably not going to do that well. They're going to be really unhappy their whole life. Whereas the bushy nose plecos don't seem to mind at all. So I have them anywhere from 67 to 80, I guess, to answer that question.
That's a nice large range for sure.
You're welcome. Hello, JH Aquatics. All right. So what other fish you got breeding? We're all caught up.
Maybe I'll go through some fish that I've had in the past.
Okay.
There's definitely I bred lots of angelfish and I was breeding discus for a while, and that was fun. Stressful fish, but I enjoyed it. I like the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a lot of apistogramma species, the dwarf cichlids, lots of rams. But I had this one species of apistogramma, was called apistogramma iniridae. That's how I pronounce it anyway. And that one was more challenging to breed than my discus by far. Discus, when you for me anyway, when I got the parameters right and everything, they laid eggs and everything worked out and had babies, and
they're a very cool fish with how they actually eat off the parents too,
totally.
Right?
Yeah, you get once you get the spawn, they hatch in 7 days, and then they're wiggling on the spawning site, which can be many different things. The side of the glass of the aquarium, they can spawn on leaves. They can spawn on commercial cones, which are my favorite. And then once they become free swimming, they hatch in 3 days. They become free swimming in 7. And on the 7th day, they're all over the parents. At least that's what you hope, because some get lost. So you don't want a big tank. A lot of people think it's cruel to have, 8-inch round discus or 9-inch round discus in a 20-gallon tank, but that's what I had. And once the babies are free swimming, they can find the parents so much easier than, say, a 40 or 50-gallon tank.
Well, it goes along the exact same line, because they need to find the parents, because they're eating stuff out of the parent's slime, right?
Yeah, they're eating the
slime coat.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as and that's going to answer your question here, Rockpile. I do breed bristlenose, bushy nose plecos, and it's the same concept of when they hatch. And this is what I might do for you today too, is I have some ready to come out of a cave. I might do it right here, right in front of you, so you guys can see how I pull bushy nose babies out of a cave.
Cool.
These are green dragons, short fin green dragons. But I put them in a very small container so that they can find the food easier, because I think that's where a lot of people lose a lot of fish, putting them in too big of a tank.
Totally agree.
It's a humanitarian effort, not cruelty, to be able to get the babies to find their food by far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I was spawning this, or trying to spawn the Pistogramma species, and they were wild caught. So I had the pH started out at 6. I brought them home, put them in pH of 6, and TDS was about 50 to 60. So it was really low. And I had no spawning activity. I was feeding them live blackworms, California blackworms, and nothing was happening. And I brought the pH down to 5.5, and nothing happened. Then I brought it down to 5, nothing. 4.5, nothing. I've never had the pH under 5 in my life. Then I brought it down to 3.5, and it was like someone flicked a switch. She spawned immediately, and then right away I took the pH back up and had a really nice spawn, and grew the babies up, and actually sold them to Harold at Menagerie Pet Shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was probably the most satisfying experience. You can't take away from discus. Discus are the ultimate, but this was really gratifying to spawn these fish for sure.
And then there's people who just breed fish. They just want to breed fish. They just want to see babies get born and raise the babies up and either sell them or give them away, whatever they do with them. But then there's the breeders out there that have something in mind. They have something that they're trying to achieve out of their breeding. They don't even they produce so many babies just to get a couple of these certain colors or certain fin characteristics or a certain color eye or anything to, I guess, in essence, play God and make something from nature, whether it be a different color pattern, anything. Guppies,
guppies, yeah.
Everybody, you get someone that's got a purebred line,
yeah,
and they're gonna keep breeding that. Well, I want my dorsal fin up. My big thing when I was doing Moscow guppies, black Moscows, is I was trying to get my dorsal fin up. That's where my guppies lacked. The dorsal fin needed to come up almost to the tip of the tail.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to. I bred them, kept everyone with the biggest dorsal fins, and that's what I was trying to achieve. Where some people just try to breed a black Moscow guppy, right?
Yeah.
And those guys with the discus. This is where I'm going with all this.
Okay.
You're probably wondering.
No.
It's those guys with the discus that amazes me. They're not only just getting 2 discus to breed. They're getting 2 discus that don't look alike anything, but they have an idea through they've done it so many times up to that point what their offspring are going to get, and that's how we get some of these like really amazing looking discus.
Yeah,
discus, my favorite fish, not even close. They're not even on a list, to be honest with you. They're boring. To me, they look boring.
I don't know. I consider them more of a pet than a fish, because I had a female that whenever I needed to move her from one tank to another, I didn't want to put her in the net and wreck her slime coat and everything. So I just put my hand in, and she'd lay in my hand, and I could physically take her out and put her in a different tank.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was cool. I did that quite a few times with her. Yeah.
23 green phantoms. I don't know if you have long fin or short fin. I have the short fin variety, and mine breed like crazy. I'm actually going to do it in a couple of minutes. I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to pull the babies from the cave. These are wooden caves that I make and I sell. Actually, maybe Kaler's Aquatics can put that up, the link to my website. But anyways, yeah, this will be a big spawn. I've been keeping my eye on it. The yolk sacs are getting down to not much there, and I bet you there's 60 to 80 fry in this spawn. It looked pretty big, so we'll do that in a minute. From Kaler's Aquatics, I recently had blue Steelopistos spawn several times. Females are very rare in the hobby. I thought I had 4 males. After a year, 2 females began spawning. I'm doing them as a colony breeding project. Well, very good. And I'm sure you'll put out some videos of it, because that's something I'd be interested in seeing.
Absolutely.
That'd be something you'd definitely be interested in seeing. And if I am correct in saying this. I've seen most of Bob Kaler's tanks on YouTube, and I'm sure it'll be a very natural setup. I think I've actually seen this tank. I think it's a very natural setup.
Yep.
Lots of live plants. He just lets them do what they naturally do, and it works for him.
Yep. I use lots of almond leaves.
Yeah.
A lot of almond leaves. I'd throw in like 5 into a 10-gallon tank, and it would go so dark, and the leaves would obviously break down, but a lot of times the epistles will spawn in amongst the cracks and everything of the overlying leaves.
So you just put like bunches in?
Yeah, I just throw 5 in.
Okay.
And they'll fall how they fall and let nature take its course.
I was thinking of doing that in my cherry shrimp tank. It's been struggling. It doesn't do that good. And I'm not sure why. There is no substrate in it whatsoever, but it's got a ton of Christmas moss in it, cholla wood and stuff. But I have a whole bag of oak leaves that I collected in the fall and dried out properly.
Perfect.
I think I'm going to throw literally a handful of them in there and just see if that buffers the water for them more without having a substrate in there.
Yeah.
So going to try that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna do this, and then maybe this will give some people something to talk about. So bear with me for a moment, people. I'll just move this out of the way. I'll set it up right here, and when I do, as I'm getting the babies out, actually, Trevor, you can maybe even take the camera and show people exactly what I'm doing. You can see what's happening right here. So maybe we'll try it. Bear with me. By all means, ask Trevor some questions while I'm getting set up. It's not going to take me long. So I got my handy, trusty little bucket here.
And they'll be able to see that really good too.
Yeah. So give me just a couple of seconds. So I don't know what everybody can see. I can see what you can see. So the fish are coming out of this tank right here. This is my green phantom, green dragon breeding tank. I got 6 females and 1 male in here, but this 1 male is pretty serious about his breeding. He brings in several females at a time generally. I also have some runaway multifascius in here, as I've been trying to get them out of this tank for about 6 months. They just won't leave. And I also have some Parasip nigrinus in this tank as well. They currently have a mouthful. So what I'm going to do is, Trevor's going to grab that camera. He's going to walk over here with it. All right, and there, you can look on the screen there to see where you're pointing it. So right in this cave here, I'm going to pull it out, and the male is going to actually stay in the cave. He won't go. There's about 3,000 snails on it. Oh yeah, they're ready to come out. So I literally pull it out of the water in it. I take the cave and I dump it. And I continue to dump it.
Wow, that's a lot. Holy cow.
The male will still stay in. It is a little invasive, but this is how I ensure I get them before other fish can eat them. If they leave the cave on their own.
A lot of albinos, eh?
Yep.
Wow.
And I put some water in it. Male's still in the cave. He's trained. He knows the routine.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
And I put the cave back
50-50.
in. Just going to dry my arm up. But yes. There is a lot of albinos because that's how this breed was, this color morph was created.
Cool.
Was with albinos.
Right on.
So, I'd say we have about 50.
For sure.
That's
then, awesome.
What I do with them after, if you see that breeder box on that tank right there, that's exactly what I've done with them. And I'll put another breeder box on that tank with these guys. That's how quick and easy that happens. I don't know how we're doing there.
That way?
This way, good.
Keep going. A little more. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
Oh, yeah, come over just a little bit. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good amount.
So yeah, that's not bad. We came out with quite a few babies here. I'd say there's about 50.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
mostly greens. There's probably 15 albinos, and the rest will be greens.
Pleco babies are so cute.
They are, and they
awesome.
they actually grow fairly quick. People don't think they do, but I can tell you the very first food that these babies are going to get when I put them in the breeder box is powdered spirulina. Every pleco I've bred and raised started with its first meal as powdered spirulina. It's just the absolute best food they can get. They can digest it right away. Gives them their fiber to get the digestive system going.
Well, it's working for you. You got millions of plecos.
And I also think being wooden caves, like that hole in that cave, that holes probably get closer to like 1 3/4 inches big. That started as 1 1/4 inch hole, and he's just used that same cave so much they just keep between it biodegrading.
Yeah.
It is wood, it's real wood. So between biodegrading and him, the male,
gnawing at it,
and the females that he traps in there to spawn, and all the babies just rasping on it.
Yeah.
I think is it opens them up even more.
Yeah.
But that rasping, I think, gives the babies a little head start because they start rasping on wood, get some fiber in their diet, and with fish, it's all about the digestive system, I think.
Yeah.
If you get a problem in a fish's digestive system, that's when they don't grow well. They get bloat, they get other ailments from it.
Yeah.
So if you can start that off good, that's
cool.
That's most of the battle. Oh, that's where you can find our caves there. I don't know what else I missed here, if I've missed anything. No, we're pretty much caught up.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Redfish Bluefish is asking JH if about some Hydro Tiger.
Hydro Tiger.
If I leave the babies with the parents, what would I say the survival ratio is? I would say if I left them in that tank, I would say the survival ratio would be very, very small, especially if there's other fish in the tank. Oh, we're getting a visitor. Roscoe's visiting. Yeah, I'd say it's low. And reasons being, predation from other fish. And the next biggest reason is the food is not right in front of them. They get less food, and I believe they just starve to death. They don't find enough food. They don't know where to go find the food yet, anything. So when I do it in the breeder box, they don't have to look at the food comes to them.
It's right there.
And I think that's the best start. Now, if I put them in a breeder box for like 2 weeks and then dump them back in the tank, they probably do okay. But I think they need that fresh start with the food right in front of them to have a good survival rate. So I hope that answers your question. Doing it my way, the ratio, I don't know. I don't ever count them, so I don't want to say 100%. Very high. I lose very, very, very few plecos. We're just going to get Roscoe out of here before he hits all our wires and stuff. He's a bit of a bull in a china shop. Trevor's just going to run him back upstairs. Roscoe had a big day today. He's we have a huge snowstorm going on outside. Like it's nasty. And this dog, I let him out. He just wants to go and lie outside, out back. He's so hot. He loves the cold. I'm just going to slide these over here. We'll get them in a breeder box later. I'm not going to do it right away. So we'll put them over there. You're welcome, Rockpile. And I brought some other stuff here. Just some rid of that stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. Awesome.
So this is a brine shrimp seam.
Steve. Yep.
Seef. Yeah. I couldn't find it. I knew I had it, but I couldn't find it. I had purchased it. It was the last one you guys stocked, and I purchased. I couldn't find it. Just found it this year, like in the last couple of weeks. But what I did up until then was I just used a reusable coffee filter, and just a little aquarium hack, I guess. It worked very good. It did. I don't think the screen mesh is quite as fine as the real deal, but it did the trick instead of having nothing. So if you can't find one, use a reusable coffee filter. They work absolutely incredible.
And these are I've never had even brine shrimp nets that are designed for brine shrimp. I find the little tiny brine shrimp that hatch, they always seem to go through, and those are the ones you want the most. This will never ever have that issue.
No, I haven't seen any, because how I do my brine shrimp, and that's going to bring me up to another thing I use.
Cool.
But how I do my brine shrimp is I get like a little pail of water, and because I like to rinse them. I don't like to put the salt water in my tanks.
No, you got to rinse them. Yeah, always rinse them.
I actually have it so there's like this much water in the bucket, so it's not over top of this. I set it in. I use this. I actually pull out the brine shrimp from the bottom when I have the light, so I get all brine, and then I shoot it into here and give it a rinse. And I never ever see any babies in the bucket underneath, like any brine shrimp. That's
really
good.
And rinse it out really good after you use it, so it doesn't nothing dries and
you don't
clogs.
want it all gummed up. I actually even take a bit of RO water to rinse mine out.
I get mine under the tap and just give it a good.
I don't even want
rub.
The minerals from the tap water on it. I just I do it with straight RO.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, we got a question. Or a comment.
I mean, you just dumped out like 50 out.
And my first spawn that I left in the tank, none lived to my knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they just can't find the food.
Yeah.
They just can't find the food. It's too hard, or they get preyed on by the other fish. They're pretty small at that point. So anyways, and then I picked up this at the dollar store. It's called a flavor injector, and it's like the one I have here already on steroids. But I picked it up just to show people what they can use this for and why it's useful.
I gotta get me one of them. What dollar store did you get it?
I think it was just the dollar. I think it's called Dollar Store, isn't it?
Dollar Tree, Dollarama. Okay.
Dollarama.
Cool.
That was it.
Cool.
But
that's awesome.
This is how I like to pull brine shrimp and different kinds of live foods out like that.
Awesome.
And they put that little, it comes with a thing I just threw on the ground here, but it comes, and I lost it. There it is. I don't use this part. It's like this for injecting meat with stuff, right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a weapon.
That's a weapon. Yeah.
It's a weapon. It's just meant to go on there like that and do that. But we're not going to use that.
Jeez.
What we're going to use, I don't know if everybody can see. Get up close. But that's just airline tubing onto rigid airline tubing. And it fits on. This one's a little wore out, but it fits on just like that. And now you can do exactly what I just said. Pull brine shrimp out, whatever you need out. That's a small area, and do it. So there's your hack for the day.
Yeah,
that's going to be nicer than this one. Now I can pull out all the brine shrimp at once instead of just that little bit. And I got one more thing in my little box here to talk about.
I don't know what that is.
It's not food. But what this is ribbon plant weights for weighting down your plants. I don't know if everybody can see it. I bought it on Amazon. That's where I bought it. Comes in a roll in a little bag. And I literally take scissors and cut it off the size I want. So when I have clippings of plants and I need to weight them down, whether I'm selling them or whether I'm doing them for myself, I think that's going to last a long time for a lot of plants. I literally use that much when I do it. And I just wrap it around. Like say Rotella or the Cambodia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I use for that. And just, I don't know. It works really well.
Yeah.
Works really well. So that's my little tips and tricks.
Yeah, segment. That's awesome.
But I don't even remember. I don't know how you do all these affiliate links and all this crap on here, but I don't need any of that right now. But that's where you'll get it, is Amazon. And it was cheap. It was under $10.
Cool.
Canadian.
Cool.
$10 Canadian.
Yeah, if anyone's ever in the Aurelia area, I work at Critter Cove. Come on in and say hello and just ask for Trevor and say hi.
Yeah. And we got Mike in there too, who's that's pretty savvy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What is that stuff? I just told you what it is. It's aquarium ribbon. I see it there. I think that's what. That's our. Yeah, so it's pretty much. I think it's tin, maybe a little bit of lead. Yeah, so Frank White knows about your store, and I guess the affiliate to your store is Pets and Ponds, right?
Yeah,
So do you guys ship to the States? Ship to the U.S.?
Just to Canada.
Just in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is for just in Canada, but I know Pets and Ponds has some fabulous prices on a lot of stuff you just can't find too.
Yeah.
So you can look them up on the internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there.
Petsandponds.com?
Yes.
Yeah, petsandponds.com. So that's where Trevor works. So he gets to see lots of fish. You didn't tell anybody what you ordered yourself in this week yet, though. Some snowball pluckos.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some. Ordered 2 snowball plecos. They were on the list. I haven't seen them on the list for. I think it's the first time I saw them on the list ever. And yeah, they're really cool. They're about 2 inches long, and I just got to make sure they're eating. It's kind of got me a little worried, but
did you try some of the fattier foods?
Yeah, I mean,
meatier foods.
I'm using jumbo bloodworms, frozen jumbo bloodworms, but I have a killifish in that tank, so I don't know if he's eating all of it and they're not getting any, or if they're getting some and I just haven't really seen. But yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I found, like, with some of my fancier L number plecos, when I bring them home, I don't see them for a while. Like they're really shy until they get to.
Yeah, mine are usually right there.
Out. Oh yeah, they should be eating then. Yeah. I always wonder if they're eating, but they can go a long time without it.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah. I guess the nicer the stuff you offer them, the better they're gonna do.
I put some zucchini in, and I haven't seen them on it.
No. Might take them a bit, and that type of pleco,
they might never have had it.
Yeah, that type of pleco may require a meatier diet, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're give us a like. We're doing our best. We're not professionals here. Nobody's getting paid. But we do appreciate you watching.
Absolutely.
Gives us somebody to talk to. This was about explaining the welding stuff. Just looks like it. Might be magnesium ribbon. Whatever it is, they say it's. They do say it's water safe. So it seems to work well. Um, yeah, Frank orders his substrates through you guys.
Oh, cool.
I know a lot of people that order through you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rockpile, if I cared about your grammar, I would have to judge myself awfully hard. 'Cause my grammar is absolutely horrible. This is the hardest part of for me doing live stream because I do say some dumb shit. I say some dumb shit sometimes, and at least when I'm just doing a video, like when I'm just doing a topic video or just a video in general,
Edit.
That edit button's my best friend most of the time.
Life can be a little interesting sometimes.
It can,
but it's fun.
We were just talking, so like it was like 4 a.m. today. Some dude got shot right down by the cop shop in Aurelia. Got shot in the back. He's alive, I think. I don't think he's dead.
Oh, I didn't hear.
He's alive.
I didn't hear if he lived.
And then Nicole says, I don't know if we should even let the kids outside because every criminal always comes to our neighborhood when they've done something. And it's true. Every meth head in Aurelia has showed up in this area of Aurelia. And it's, quite frankly, it's an area of nicer houses.
It is.
Like it's not supposed to be like that. And but they all come here to hide or whatever. So like we've had 2 meth heads crash out in our front lawn in the middle of the night.
Wow.
There's a meth house down the street. They're gone finally, thank God. Like we're not in a big city here. There's 30,000 people in Aurelia.
Yeah. It's
not a big city, but it seems to be a lot of meth heads. And then there was a stolen U-Haul van that cops were on a chase on, and they lost it. They lost a U-Haul van. I don't know how you can lose that. It showed up 10 doors down from here at someone's house, and they went, "Oh man, it's been so." And then apparently just down the road from us here on Isabella, they freaking SWAT teams in there getting these guys that shot this dude in the back. So, a lot of stuff goes on around it. And this is all during a blizzard.
Yeah.
Like, we can't forget the fact that
there's better things to do.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. Like, there's an actual blizzard outside. So,
stay inside and tinker with your aquariums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay out of trouble.
Or do a live stream. That's basically how we came up with it. Yeah, Rockpile, you got to do it on your MacBook and or your whatever computer you use. This is how I do it, but I'll tell you what upset me tonight is that I'm using YardStream, but what happened? It would not let me set up my other camera. I got to figure this out more on a tank because I really wanted to show you guys some more stuff. A lot of people don't believe me how much plecos enjoy zucchini. I was going to drop this in my 90-gallon pleco grow out tank and let everybody just see on that camera how fast they go to it. And you would have literally seen over 100 plecos on this piece of zucchini. There's probably about 300 in that tank growing out. So that's what I got going on here. Right now, not a lot of stuff breeding other than what's already been bred and growing out. I did sell. I had 3 wild-caught red rainbow tropheus.
Cool.
In the 180, I found a guy that was really interested in them, and I sold them. So they're gone. I'm kind of converting the 180. I want to convert it into a Frontosa tank. Yeah. I'm going to try something that just may blow some people's minds, but I'm going to try and do a Venustus Frontosa tank.
Cool.
That's what I'm going to try. Right now I have Venustus Blue Dolphin. I got some Mabuna in there. My Mapenga Travassis were breeding in there. I actually got a short video of the Mapenga Travassis breeding in there. Yeah. Albino Erratices have been breeding in there like crazy. There's a mouthful of Venustus in there as well. So I guess, lots of stuff's been breeding. And cool. It's probably, again, it's with cichlids, it's water changes.
Oh, yeah.
Cichlids breed with water changes. Yeah. There's, I did 2 days ago, I did a 50% water change on that tank. That's 90 gallons of water, people.
Jeez.
It's a lot to do a water change on it, but I do that almost weekly.
Yeah.
Almost weekly, and I have an FX6 on there, a Marineland 360. There's a freaking aquaponics system, a big hang-on back, and I still do that many.
Well, that's why you're having so much success with spawning these guys.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to spawn them. I just want them to be healthy. And
I'll give them what they want, and they'll
big
do their
fish
thing.
like that have big poops. And those big poops got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And after a while, those big poops just stay in the water column. And then you get yellow water syndrome. Even these plecos that I just pulled out, water's even got a bit of a yellow tinge. But I think that's from all the wood on the tank. There's a lot of wood in that tank.
Yeah.
But there's not hardly any wood in the 180, and I get that yellow water a bit just because there's a frontos in there that big. There's some monsters in there.
Big pooping machines.
But frontosas, that's what I'm doing. I want them again. Good. So I'm currently on the lookout for some females, and they're just brundies. I'm not doing anything fancy.
Nothing crazy.
As long as they're good-looking brundies. I don't want shit bars. I don't want messed up bars. I don't want partial bars. I don't want bars with little nooks at them. I want straight bars. Yeah. I am going to breed them, so I'm going to be fancy. Let's bring the Burundi back. Let's bring the Burundi back.
Right on.
So I'm going to be on the lookout and picky as hell on the females. This male's got good bars. And I think with some females in there with him, he's going to lighten up a lot. He's just kind of grumpy, pissed off dude in there right now. He's got no one for loving. Yeah. So he's he is being extremely grumpy in there with everybody else. So I think I need to find him some girls, and I need to find him a few girls. I can't do one at a time. No, this is going to be a get 6.
Because he'll just kill her anyway.
Yeah. If I put one female in with that monster,
that'd be bad.
Yeah, it'd be really
for
bad.
Her.
Yeah, and everybody else in the tank.
Yeah,
and everybody else in the tank.
Yeah,
you don't just put a lot of females in for so the male doesn't hurt the females. You put a lot of females in so the male doesn't hurt the females, and the male doesn't hurt every other fish in that tank when he's wanting to breed. He's more interested in going after. They're like decoys for the rest of the tank. It's a fine line with a big mixed cichlid tank. Yeah. Like I'm basically running a jail here. I'm basically running a maximum security jail.
Right on.
And sometimes you get some boisterous inmates in there. Yeah. But I try to keep them. That's why I use a 180, a 6-foot tank, and I try to keep everybody peaceful. Everybody knows their place. The only time shit gets out of line is when someone decides they're going to breed. And then if everybody decides they're going to breed all at once and they're getting out of line, they're starting to go to places in the tank where they don't normally go to. So they're going into, so they're trying to breed over by the big France area. No, man, it don't happen.
Ain't happening.
You go somewhere else. So they got to sort it all out.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to actually pay attention here sometimes. Yeah, so, okay. So from Tennessee, Bob just got your information for the store up there.
Okay, awesome.
That's where Bob's from.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Rockpile, your Gourami looks just like the one that I cycled my 55. He moved to the 180 last week with all the big Severums that grew up with him. Cool fish. And yes, Bob is moderating like a boss. I haven't felt the need to really get any other moderators. We don't get the traffic in here either. It's not like we have 1,000 people watching and anybody's got to be kept in line or anything like that. There's it's a small show, and I kind of like it this way because there's no pressure on me, right? Because I don't need that kind of pressure. No. I do these videos. I do them for fun. Yeah. And that's all it is for fun because, like, I'm not getting paid. You getting paid? No, I can tell you you're not getting paid because I'm not getting paid. And so I go to work for my day job to get paid, and so do you. And we just come and do this kind of stuff for fun. Fish keeping's for fun. We talked about that last show. Everybody's always asking, is there any money in keeping fish? No. No, no, very little money, very little money. There, you can maintain your hobby.
Yeah.
This is what I've set up to be able to maintain my hobby. And I think if you're going to make money on it, you're not going to enjoy it much because you're going to be setting tanks up just for making money.
You don't want a job, because that takes the fun out of it.
No, and if we add up an hourly wage of what you make in your fish room, you're working for about like minus 50 cents an hour.
Yeah.
It costs you money to work in your fish room.
Yeah.
We have Mad Fish Diva in the house.
No, just be happy to breed your fish and enjoy the whole journey. And if you can sell your fish to local stores or people on the internet, then that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or fish club.
Or fish club. Absolutely.
Join a fish club.
Yeah.
That's if you're anywhere remotely close to somewhere that has not everybody has a fish club nearby, right? What do we travel? You just join in the fish club. I've been there for a bit. I was there. I was one of the founding members, actually, of the very club. But then I left. I had some personal issues in life I had to deal with, and got out of fish keeping for a few years. And then I went back again, and I've been a member. And what it gives to me is it gives me like-minded people to talk to about fish that, like, I could talk to them about spawning behaviors of fish or what you got to do to spawn fish or how I keep it. And they don't look at me like I'm totally batshit crazy.
Yeah.
They don't look at me like I got 3 heads. They're like, oh, yeah, and I do it this way. And then you end up with a conversation out of it. Yeah. Also, you get connections for fish to get different kinds of fish off of, like, stuff you might not get in pet stores.
Yeah.
It's a camaraderie, how we can share stuff. And I guess I know our fish club's like $15 a year to join, so it's not hard to find some value in $15.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some. Last week's meeting was Steve Langley. You guys have probably seen me do the video on his fish room, and if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's a great watch. Steve, you want to talk about breeding angels and rams and whatnot, just put anything. He's the guy to talk to. But he did a talk at our club about, he did a PowerPoint presentation at our club about how to set up a fish room. And
in great detail. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and so you would never learn these things, and you'd have to try all these experiences yourself without having any insight on it before you tried it. These people are saving you time and money and frustration and redoing stuff, and maybe it'll just work better right off the bat. And that way you're not doing any harm to your fish while your idea is not working out so good if you can learn from someone else's ideas first. And
the guys at Home Depot only know so much.
Yeah.
I'm building a fish room. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, nice to get other people's input on how it's done. Just take a little bit from this person, a little bit from this person. That's how I've done it. Yeah. Steve don't like my racks. He made that quite clear at the presentation. He doesn't like my racks, and that's okay. I haven't noticed any problems with them yet. They probably do lean a little bit here, a little bit there, but they work. When I set up my permanent fish room, I'll do my own. Yeah. I'll do my own racking for it. I'm a carpenter, so I should be able to figure some of that out. But you should become a member again, Frank, if you've moved up to Collingwood. I'm not sure if there's any people that come out from that way if you need a ride, but it's definitely worth an ask. Anyways, we'd love to have you out at our meetings.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just about ready to wrap up, Trevor. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
We had a good run here.
I think we should wrap her up and have some supper on this miserable blizzardy night out there.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you, Bob, for moderating. Thank you, everybody else, for showing up and watching. Really do appreciate it. If you don't mind, smash that like button. I'm not all about subscriptions and everything else. Do I have a goal? I do. I want to get to at least 1,000 subscribers. Honestly, more for you're not going to make any money at 1,000 subscribers for the monetization. Just opens you up to more platforms to spread your message. And my message is good fish keeping. That's all my message is, and it allows me to go live via mobile as well. So I won't have these issues now. I got to figure out how to set this other camera up because that did mess with our stream today. Yeah. And maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning because I have my Sunday morning coffee stream at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock tomorrow. I will announce that now. And then I will not have a stream the following Sunday because I'll be in Cuba. Unless Trevor sets up my stuff while I'm gone, while he's here looking after my fish. Maybe I should watch out, see if there's any live streams while I'm gone. But anyways, everybody, be safe out there if you're in this storm area. Apparently it's a 2,500 mile long storm. I think right now we're getting the brunt of it, but stay safe. And until next time, brother.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
Bye for now.